Good afternoon, good evening, or even good morning to all of you today. And welcome to our end of month call for all of us who dedicated our time to no complaining, no blaming initiatives. Thank you, Kripa. You will turn on your camera in a minute. Great. It's great to see each other here, let's say one-to-one, if we can't get together in one place. For now, we are going to celebrate, as here we seem to have the most persistent, the most dedicated group who persisted until the end of this month. And we would, hello Nicoletta, we would also like to continue with this reflecting on our own, contemplating in the following days as well. And we are also planning to start a new initiative, which is similar, extracted from this one, so that we can work on ourselves deeper and see, maybe notice and touch those aspects that we may have missed so far. Or let's see, no, that's why I would like to. Okay, let's get started. Today we're going to start with Mohanji Gayatri Mantra. Let's embrace ourselves in this energy of Mohanji consciousness. Relax, keep your shoulders relaxed, hands in your lap, on your thighs or knees. Keep your back straight. Feel how you are in a comfortable, safe place. Right place in this moment. Now breathe in from the bottom of your spine until the top of your head. And breathe out from the top of your head to the bottom of your spine. 2 more times. Inhale through the spine, up. And exhale from the top of the head down. 1 more time. And relax. Inhale, we'll start chanting. Om Para Brahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Para Brahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Para Brahmane Vidmahe Shiva Tattvaya Dhimahi Tanno Mohana Prachodayat. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Sahana Vavatu, Sahana Bhunaktu, Sahaviryam Karavavahai, Tejasvinavaditamastu, Ma Vidvishamahai. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let us get together, work together towards the same goal. Let's be in that ultimate consciousness, embraced in the bright golden light, let us that inner light, Tejas, get brighter and brighter in us. Let us work in harmony. Let us not be animosity among us. Peace in the universe, peace in the society, and peace within us. Thank you. Let's see now. Okay. First, let's have a quick recap of what we contemplated on so far. So we are going to do something, as I said. Here we've got, this is where we left off last time. So let's just recap quickly. This is initiative, which is global, no complaining, no blaming. Everybody works on their own. So whether somebody joins this call or not, we committed to working on this. So this is a journey towards self-mastery and acceptance. We are on this path of turning within, turning attention within, connecting to consciousness. But the first step is acceptance, right? And we committed to no complaining about people, situations, weather, or work, and instead of resistance, to embrace acceptance. So it doesn't mean passivity. It's accepting the situation as it is and then respond to it, because it brings a lot of relaxation. It cultivates inner strength. So it's not making ourselves meek and weak, or complacent or submissive. This is not that at all. So to have clear understanding, it is inner strength to really see the situation as it is, and then shift from fighting it helplessly in frustration to accepting it as it is, right? So whether this situation is within us, like inertia, excuses, negative patterns, or outside of us, in that way, we are strengthening ourselves within, build resilience, perseverance, and focus on mastery. So we know what our destination is. And we said we're going to observe emotions without judgment, to replace complaints with solutions, which is very important, and to do it daily. Also, it's very useful to keep a journal. Everybody to keep their journal, so that some thoughts that are there and some processes in our mind can be externalized, and that way we are more aware of it. Maybe we were not aware of it before we put it on paper or wrote in a file. So that's why it is inner work, completely inner work. We don't need to share it with everybody, but here we get together so that we can inspire each other and motivate each other as well. So when we say complaining, it means resistance to situations. We feel like a victim. But when we accept the situation as it is, it's inner strength and self-mastery. So in that way, we can then respond. As I said, it's not passivity. We can respond by also taking action to improve the situation, right? Especially if we see adharma, as happened a few weeks ago, where Mohanji started the initiative Bangladesh Stop Hate. There was a question, how are we now not to blame, where we are blaming these events that are happening in Bangladesh towards a lot of Hindu people, and it is ethical cleansing, actually, ethnical cleansing, where there are a lot of killings, rapes, and violence in it. So the point is, when we see adharma, which is like violence in this case, killing innocent people, that is where we need to accept the situation as it is, and as it is adharma, right? Not unrighteousness. Then we need to see what we can do to improve it, at least to share posts so that we increase awareness, right? If we keep being passive, whether it is Bangladesh or something happening in our home, society, country, then we are adharmis as well, because those who commit adharma, those who support committing adharma, and those who keep quiet are all adharmis. It means you create bad karma for yourself, although you didn't do it directly. So let's make distinction between these two things. It must be clear. So flexibility and adaptability are the key. Resistance compromises progress. So acceptance perfects it. True mastery comes when the mind is still, right? That's it. So the mind is still is a state where there are no thoughts. It doesn't mean then we are without any feelings, right? We still feel, and we still operate on earth. And it should be righteousness that leads us, non-violence. And if we are on this path, this is also no intoxication. Here we said failure is part of the process, so don't give up. If you realize you caught yourself complaining or blaming something, so this is we need to be persistent to overcome obstacles, and then we'll reach. Because this is the key. Every step matters, every effort matters, right? And whenever there is a challenge, we need to shift it into opportunities. For example, when you see a huge mountain, it looks really intimidating, so huge, maybe frightening for some. But when you look at it from the perspective of a mountaineer, you just see it as another challenge. And then step by step, you climb it. It's not an obstacle anymore. It's a challenge to overcome. So then you become unshakable and unshaken by external circumstances. And then we talked about several questions. What should we do when something doesn't happen as per our plan? We gave a lot of solutions. Then, just a moment. Or are we accepting situations as they are, or are we resisting them? Am I blaming situation for my own inertia? Or am I giving excuses for not taking action? Something else is reason for our not taking action. These are excuses, tamasic excuses. We explained that earlier. What happens when I stop complaining, judging, or criticizing? There is an energy shift happening. So we said, how often do I observe my emotions and how they manipulate me? So when we observe our emotions, then we have detachment from them. We are not identifying ourselves with emotions. Then we are mastering ourselves, actually. We don't allow that emotions blind our vision like clouds come in front of the sun and block the sun. We observe them and have this detachment from emotions. We witness it as we watch them as witness. Then, am I consistent in my practice of acceptance and perseverance? So it's not one day I'll be practicing acceptance and then 3 days I'm not, then again 1 day. No, so we need to be consistent. If we are not in the beginning, then to make effort to reach good consistency, because only that will bring success. Only that will bring our better connection within ourselves, and realizing ourselves. So that's what we practiced earlier. Are there any questions? I'll stop sharing because from here let's continue to the next part. And I don't see any questions or hands here. So let's see. Then we'll continue, okay? With questions that we haven't covered yet. Okay, here we go. What triggers my complaints or resistance? Habit or specific events? What do you think? Here there is a picture of a vegan who is like flabbergasted or terrified by a person who brings a hamburger, a person who is a meat eater and brings hamburger. So some people tend to contaminate their inner space just by seeing others who are not in their, let's say, frequency. So can you tell me why is this a mistake? Anybody?
Anybody can have their choice.
Mm-hmm. Yes, anybody can their choice. Live and let live. So there are all kinds of frequencies on earth. Everybody got born to experience their karma. And by our contaminating our inner space, by being mad, frustrated, angry, complaining, even experience hatred, this is not going to help either person, let's say in this case meat eater, nor us. So let's continue.
See, if we are showing the resistance to a particular thing, it becomes much larger. And if you just ignore and be calm, it is going to, like nullify itself. It's not going to create any inner turbulence. It's better to ignore rather than to resist.
Thank you, Meritma. Yes. Let's see several options here of several examples. So sometimes what triggers my complaints, it's not mine, I just gave some examples. It's mostly habit. If I realize and complain about minor inconveniences, like waiting in line without even thinking. I've noticed a lot of people being impatient when they wait in a line, where we can just go within and find a certain either nice tune to sing or mantra to chant, or at least each of us can find a way to keep being patient in this, or observation of how people feel around, etc. So this is one example. Then specific events like unexpected changes to my plans trigger my resistance. This is when a person is not very flexible. Like, I don't like surprises, so everything has to be planned, like clockwise, accurate plans. And then when circumstances are different, especially when Mohanji is there and when somebody works with Mohanji, there are always changes in plans and we must be flexible. But that's where we show maturity. When we are mature, accept more, then we are more flexible as well. And when somebody criticizes me, I find it harder to accept. Yes, this is when a person takes it personally, like an attack to personality. So then there is a reaction, fight or flight. It's stressful. Cortisol comes out. So let's see, when somebody criticizes me, sometimes it's ego working. I find it harder to accept. And I often resist the feedback. I need to work on that. So a realization of this, this is diagnosis is better than just going on with it as a pattern, right? When a person recognizes the pattern, that's the start where we can work on it further and see, for example, how can we change this into an opportunity, criticism into an opportunity. Would anybody like to reply to this? We can say that when somebody criticizes us, if it is a constructive feedback and criticism, however much we liked our previous performance or whatever we did, work, this is a new perspective. So if we want to get better and to appeal, for example, to more people, to be better understood, then we can accept this and see how to improve. So criticism, at least constructive criticism, is not blaming us, right? But constructive criticism is a path to improvement, definitely. How do I respond when faced with obstacles? Do I find possibilities? Sometimes, if an obstacle is for something that we do not care much about, we will give up easily. But if we are very well determined, strongly determined, then we are not going to give up easily. And opportunities will come because we radiate that energy, right? We radiate the energy of accepting new possibilities. If things don't work currently as they are, we open ourselves to new possibilities and they come. We actually create them because then we vibrate a new, better energy of possibilities. So how do I respond? Here are 3 examples. When my laptop crashed during a meeting, I quickly switched to my phone and continued the presentation without panicking. I'm sure that many of you experienced this. Or at least I experienced some. Once I had to conduct an Acharya meeting, and I traveled to Bosnia, actually to Republika Srpska. And what happened is when I wanted to log in to the account which I regularly log in, I couldn't because it somehow didn't allow me because of security reasons. So probably because I was in a different place and then they didn't recognize my hometown, etc. So then I couldn't log in, and the problem is, how would I then start a meeting? Now it should start soon. And then I found, actually, I couldn't find a person to let me in, to send me, this one-time password, who was the host of this email. And what I did was, okay, I will use my personal account. It's only free, like for 40 minutes, but then we can leave the meeting and then join another link. So I created 2 links quickly and sent to people. So we had to interrupt the meeting, let's say in the middle. But anyway, in the end, it worked somehow, and we managed to have an important Acharya meeting. So that was one example, and it helped me really to work without panicking, because if I panicked, I wouldn't be able to find out these solutions in such a short time, within a few minutes. The next example would be, I used to give up easily, but now I see obstacles as opportunities to grow. Right? For example, I took a failed project as a lesson to improve. Yes, so without accusing ourselves for failing, we can see, that didn't work. Let's be open and see what works. Or try something else. Another example, when I couldn't get a promotion, I used it as a motivation to upskill and prove myself further. Again, motivation to improve. We turn this negativity into possibilities, obstacle or seeming failure into possibility. Next question. Kripa wanted to say something. Kripa?
Hi,
Yes.
Mohanji. So I just have a quick question, and I'm not sure if it falls within this question or another one. But for instance, when the challenge that you're facing isn't necessarily just a situation, but perhaps somebody's not getting their work done. So what it does is it creates a blockage for you, or it creates more work for you because it doesn't get done. So it starts to create a backlog. That is something I have faced a lot. And as much as I try to keep up with things, what ends up happening is it causes stress because I not only have my work to do, I now have the other person's work to do because they're not getting it done. And there's a time limit involved in some of these things, or it's creating stress in the environment. Like maybe it's a cleanliness issue, or maybe it's a rolling situation that needs to keep moving, and there is stagnation.
Yes.
That is something I have had a considerable amount of difficulty finding acceptance in, because it is something that it's a non-stop barrier. Like it doesn't, it's like the if I let it just kind of let it go and it's going to work itself out kind of a thing, it doesn't seem to work itself out, and then I have to spend extra time and energy doing it. And then
whose
that's where I
company is
get
it?
frustrated. So I was just curious, how does acceptance fall into this?
Yes, I asked whose company is this, so that I see how much you can manage these human, let's say, relationships here in the team or at work. Because when we have such a problem, we need to talk to our, let's say, superior in the company, or first definitely with that person, to tell that person directly, not to talk behind their back, to see how we can solve this. If a person accepted this job to do these tasks, then of course they should deliver what is expected, right? But if it is not, if it is happening continuously that the person doesn't deliver these things, we need to talk to the, let's say, team leader or whoever is superior, and together as a team, and see what can be done. That's one thing. And on the other hand, when Mohanji is talking, he told us many times when we have similar situation, let's say in our teams, don't wait for a person to do this task. If it is not going to happen, do it yourself. So instead of blaming people, see how can I help, what can I do so that the work gets done. That's the right attitude, where we accept the situation. So I know in corporates it's different. It should be because everything is paid, so every minute counts, etc. But regarding the attitude, our attitude of acceptance, it should be what can I do so that the work gets done in time. If you can't, so let me help you. So this would be the right attitude. I know that if it becomes too stressful for you, it's not a permanent solution, just temporary solution. Okay. Shall we continue? Am I focused on self-acceptance and proactive responses to life? So this is, again, inner work that we need to question ourselves. What are we focusing on? Pleasures and transitory satisfactions, which come and go easily, and which are like chasing the rainbow? Or are we focused on the permanent within? And first, to accept what we created in this life, how we created ourselves, and then respond proactively, because we are not a victim in this life. This life is for us. We chose this. We deserve this life, and this is for us. So we can continue that way. For example, yes, I've been accepting my imperfections and working on my strengths without criticizing myself too harshly. Well, this is very important. When we focus on our strengths, then they increase, and there is a lot of positivity, a lot of energy, rather than when we focus on our imperfections and failures. Because when we focus on our failures, then, or weaknesses, or whatever, we reduce our energy, we weaken ourselves, right? Because whether something is good, bad, or ugly in us, it exists, right? We can improve, but not focus on this. Okay, Kripa, feel free to take off video, sure. And great to hear you're listening and enjoying. Good. So focus on your strengths. It will give you more energy. So strengths and weaknesses are always going to be there. Nobody has only strengths. And the more we accept that, the better we will accept ourselves. Without salt and pepper. So whether good, bad, or ugly, everything is there. Like Mr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So both are within one person. What will come out is what we like energize or feed. Or you know the story about two wolves, where grandpa told his grandson, everybody has like two wolves within. And then grandson or little boy asks, but then which wolf will come out, which wolf grows? And then grandpa says, the one that you feed. So the wolf that you feed will express itself more. Second example, I catch myself sometimes feeling like a victim of circumstances. I remind myself to focus on what I can do proactively. A reminder to focus what we can do is good. When we do, let's say, remote control of our lives into other people's hands, then we can feel like a victim, because we lose control of our happiness. And happiness is an inner engineering. This is internal work. Whatever happens outside, we can work on our inside to practice contentment. And if we, let's say, depend on other people or situations or etc. for this contentment, then we are really like a victim. So let's not feel like a victim, because we are not. We have this life, and we are mastering ourselves so that we can master our mind, and this is real mastery. We can never control all the circumstances, but we can control what is within us. And third example, I'm slowly becoming better at self-acceptance by journaling my thoughts and focusing on solutions to everyday problems. Always remember, so how can this be solved? How can this be improved? Even if you feel helpless, there must be something. At least the change can be within you, so that you don't resist. Or what emotions arise when I attempt to accept situations without resistance? Can you imagine? Look at this picture, and a lot of frustrations on the left. And then sunshine, beautiful greenery, flowers, rain, etc. Soothing environment on the right. So this is within us as well. In the chest there is like a golden light shining bright from within. If we resist all of these frustrations, pains, anxiety, all this becomes stronger. Because what we resist, it persists. But when we accept this, it goes away faster. For example, at first, frustration and irritation arise, but as I consciously accept the situation, I feel calm and in control. So this is true. So not that we become beaten in this battle, but we really become, we get the feeling of calmness and being in control, actually. Then I feel a mix of sadness and relief when I let go resistance. Sadness because of what I hoped for, but it didn't happen. And relief because I'm no longer fighting. But this is very important, this relief, because we're no longer fighting. And sometimes acceptance brings clarity. I feel empowered and free from negativity. That's definitely true. Because as long as we fight, resist the situation, there is worry. Worry is like a fog, like a brain fog. It doesn't allow you to think clearly. But if you let go of it, like you disperse the clouds around you, then you can be free from negativity and you feel empowered. Next question. How can I replace complaints with solutions in my daily life? Look at this driver in the middle. So on the one side, there is traffic jam. On the other side, there is again traffic jam. So where is he going to go? There are different paths. Wherever he goes, there is traffic jam. So he needs to see solutions instead of complaints. If he can't help going through traffic jam, he needs to see how he can save himself from contaminating his inner space.
Can I say something?
Yes, please.
Yes, I just remembered when...
Who is talking? Just let...
Svetlana.
Oh, where are you, Svetlana? Let me pin you. Ah, here you are. Good, good.
Yes. This photo reminded me when I was driving to Ljubljana, and then actually I was heading to St. Anna, Svetana Mohanji Peace Center. And I went alone by car, all alone, and it was raining a lot. And at the very entrance in Ljubljana, my car just stopped. And I was completely calm. And it was really jam and traffic jam, a lot of cars. It was raining, pouring, and I was completely calm. I just was thinking, I was thinking of Mohanji. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so calm. And because it was, kako se kaže, brza cesta? How do you say?
Fast lane.
Fast road. Fast
lane.
So everybody was like on there.
Yeah,
Yes, I don't know how to say when they...
they were sounding the horn.
Yeah.
Honking.
Everybody was nervous. My family was nervous. My cousins were nervous, expecting me, but I was completely calm.
Yeah, in such a noise of all the honking.
Yes, I don't get to experience that a lot, because I'm a lot of full of anxiety and I haven't completely accepted myself. But there are a lot of situations when I'm completely calm and nothing can happen to me because I'm protected. I'm Mohanji's child.
Yes, great example.
Yes, you can sing in a car. I sing to Mohanji, for example.
Yes, that's warming the heart and louder than other sounds around.
Yeah.
Thank you, Svetlana. Anybody else? Okay, we'll just have complete this question and then we'll share more. I stopped whining about traffic and started leaving earlier for meetings to avoid stress. So if you know there's going to be traffic jam, then dedicate 15 minutes more to your travel or however longer is needed. And then, this person found a solution, because then there is no pressure of, that he or she's going to be late. Next, when I felt overworked, I didn't complain to my manager. Instead, I proposed solutions like redistributing tasks or prioritizing work better. This can be one solution for kripa, as I mentioned, to talk to your superior. I proposed solutions like redistributing tasks that another person is giving to you because he or she didn't do it himself or herself. So they didn't do it themselves, and then they give tasks to you to complete. So how these tasks can be redistributed better. That's the idea. Well, here are some questions that we touched upon from this. So let's continue working on ourselves, going deeper within, contemplating and accepting ourselves more and accepting our life more, so that we become empowered with full of inner strength and mastering ourselves, mastering our mind. So let's see. I would like to hear from you. How was your journey throughout this month going? Who would like to share? What have you noticed that, let's say, went on well? What did you recognize when you wrote a journal or when you contemplated? What did you notice that went well, where you accepted yourself, where you maybe hadn't accepted yourself, let's say a few years ago? Anybody? Are you all writing a journal? Who writes a journal? Can you type yes here in the chat?
Bilyana, can I share?
Yes, of course. Who is?
This is Meeta Sahai.
Meeta Sahai, just let me find you. When you don't raise hand, then I need to find you here. Yes,
I'm
good.
on the phone.
Sure.
Yeah, so I was very happy to see that there's no complaint and no blame. I was in, I think, Kolkata, or, Dwarka probably, with Mohanji. This started, and I must tell you that I have not written a journal. I have not written down anything in the diary because my daughter comes once a year from Scotland, and my daughter and my son-in-law, they are here, and I have been very busy. But I must say that I was surprised at myself that I was not complaining so much. As I used to, because I used to complain more out of habit and I don't like surprises. But my life has been topsy-turvy in the past 2 months, and I definitely complained less. There was definitely more of acceptance, and I feel happy about it because everything has been I've been very busy. No time to contemplate also, but I can definitely see that I'm not reacting the way I used to react. So just felt like sharing it.
Yes, thank you, Meeta. Definitely, it's still somewhere there. I understand that you, didn't write a journal, and as well, you're not complaining about not writing a journal, or you're not blaming yourself for not writing a journal, but you accepted the situation. Well, to make this exercise more thorough, it's useful.
Yes.
So anytime. Anna says, no, I didn't write a journal. I somehow always fail to do this. Maybe a person doesn't prefer writing. You can record yourself on the recorder, but I don't feel that it affects the practice that I'm doing. All right. And then, okay. Anybody else? For example, some people noticed that when we give excuses or we procrastinate, this is actually blaming circumstances in disguise. Right? We are saying circumstances do not allow us to do something. And then
I'll share something.
This would be
when we started.
Yes, please.
Anirupma. So when we started this, for the first time, I realized it's our general practice to blame or say something that this is the reason why I couldn't do it. And when we started then thinking of it, the awareness came. And with the awareness, the acceptance came. And then you started looking at everybody, that people don't normally commit faults, consciously. Even when I'm doing something, maybe I'm doing right on my point, but it might be wrong for someone else. So that way you become much more calmer. And you come into the present moment. You start doing your things with much awareness, and you don't react, you act. This is what I have learned in these few days.
Great. Yes, you also write and contemplate along the way.
Yeah.
And luckily you had also determination and time to do it. You put it as priority, right? As in front of other priorities. So let's see. And would anybody like to add something? How what you did well? How you noticed that you accepted situation? Although in some other situation, for example, a few months before, you would have complained. All right, it doesn't matter. Maybe you will remember some other time. And what about the other, let's say, feelings? When there is a situation where you caught yourself complaining or blaming. Because there are challenges probably. When we decide, I noticed this, when we decide, put it intention that we're going to do something, then immediately tests come, how determined we are. At my work, it happened.
Actually, Bilyana, I would like to share.
Yes, please.
Many times I realized, faced with a situation, the first reaction was of complaint and blame. Then we would remind ourselves that no, we are not supposed to do this. And then slowly acceptance came and, we would. So I will definitely accept that it was not easy. And because it is out of habit that we complain, we don't even realize that we are complaining.
That's the point. Habit is there.
Yeah. Yes, it
Sometimes it can be.
automatically happens. Yes.
Sometimes it can be specific situation, but usually it's out of habit.
Absolutely.
Cliche examples are we are complaining about the weather, we are complaining about something, but then we are not accepting ourselves as we are complaining. Oh, I, for example, don't train
Yes.
enough. For example, I paid my gym and then I went just once, I don't know, twice a month, and then so this is inner complaining, right? Because we are grudging inside. Or at work, situations can be triggered just like this, where we become helpless in certain circumstances. It happened on my work, and where I, with a lot of experience, I am very confident that I can do work well. But in certain circumstances, let's say with one group, it's simply not possible. So, because for my, let's say, job, I'm teaching English, and there are certain groups in the kindergarten and privately, etc. So one group at the kindergarten was totally not, let's say, prepared to listen to something for this direct work communication or one-to-one, although they're going to go to school next year. But still, there is always this indiscipline, lack of concentration, lack of focus, like children are, let's say, overstimulated nowadays. But especially this group, with all, I've got like 150 children, other children. But this particular group is really challenging. So I thought, am I going to feel frustrated and helpless, shout and still try to teach them, or report and talk to, some kind of pedagogist and owner of the kindergarten, etc., to see what we can do, what solution can we bring so that the group becomes manageable. And I thought first, is it a complaint, or am I proactively finding a solution for a negative situation? So then I concluded, no, this will be seeming complaint, but this is actually proactively trying to find a solution to save myself, to survive. And then, yes, so there is some solution came out of this, so that more people are there in this group. So I'm not the only one. So this is, let's say, one, so that the key, let's say, problems, whether because of mental challenges or whatever. So the key problems, or because of divorce, kids are attracting attention sometimes in a bad way. Then the group becomes more manageable. But anyway, so that's it came right after I decided to take this challenge, no complaining, no blaming. So that's why.
For me too, I had a wonderful experience. Can you see me?
Who is talking?
Merit. I'm in the blue. I'm outside.
Let me find you in gallery.
Okay.
Yeah, Merit. Hello, Merit.
Hello. I found out a pattern which I hadn't known. My mind takes other people's who criticize me or tell me off or anything. So I can entertain these basic feelings. You can't do this. You're not able, not good enough. There is not enough time. You are not enough, whatever. So when I realized this, the leader of a choir, which I initiated for Christmas time, had a nervous breakdown. And I knew this was meant for me to jump in and to lead the choir. Though I don't have learned the skills, but I can do it. I know I can do it. But I asked a professional to do it because I did not dare. Now, I took over and we had so much fun. It was fantastic. Also then when we did it. And afterwards, now again, I do not have any free time, but It's I am translating the Baba book, and I was asked to finish it by Mohanji's birthday, and I have so many other tasks, and I began to count the hours, and I realized it's impossible. So I began to ask people, could you help me? And there was just one woman who would do a little. So I just began, and first I felt pressure and blah, blah, blah. And now I realize I just go step by step. I do whatever I can. I get inspired. The more I do it, I get more inspired to do it. And now the feeling of it is impossible is totally gone. And I know it will be possible. And I also knew beforehand it is meant that I do this. So every time that I feel, and it's, I got this, how do you say, much more the feeling through this, no blaming, no complaining, that I listen to my heart. I am meant to do this also. So this gives
Amazing
input. Yeah.
Amazing. And it's also true when you do Mohanji's work, you get energized, and however much energy you need, it comes. I remember how he told the Acharyas, if you need 1 horsepower, I will give you 1 horsepower. If you need 100 horsepower, I will give 100 horsepowers. If you need 1,000 horsepowers, I will give you 1,000 horsepowers. So whatever work you are willing to do good, to add value to the world, come to me and I will empower you. So this is whoever is connected as you are and do this work, you get energy to complete it, right? You get a lot of support, like wind in the wings or horsepower. Thank you, Merit. Would anybody else like to share? Would you like to share yours? Maybe how you turned some complaints into improvements, into challenges. Actually, it's already 1 hour, but if you would like to share, we are open to hear. If not, if you're still thinking, I would ask Nirupma to share with us one beautiful set of affirmations, which she called Mohanji Mantra. It has nothing to do with Mohanji Gayatri. This is a set of affirmations which we can complete. Gauri. Okay, Gauri. Sure, we'll stay for a few more minutes anyway. Thank you so much for attending this. Yes. Jai Mohanji Gauri. All right, so Nirupma?
Yeah.
Please
I call it
take
Mohana
over.
Mantra. It was a blessing. I was doing Maitri for a person and he was very, very busy. So normally we used to ask him to do the power of purity meditation because I wanted him to accept himself, unhook from the past, and show gratitude for whatsoever he had. And one night, I don't know, it was guidance by Mohanji. So I just wrote down those affirmations and I sent it to Mohanji. So he immediately said that this is something like very good, that 5 sentences, 5 affirmations is basically the gist of power of purity. It is about acceptance, forgiveness, gratitude, love. And during this month, when I practiced this, kept on practicing, it really helped me to evolve. And to the people who I'm given, it really works. Those affirmations are, I accept myself completely. You know, when we say the affirmations, basically, we empower our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind always accepts what we tell, what signals we are giving it. So when you always say like, I accept myself completely, you start respecting yourself. You have the acceptance, whatsoever you are, You are good. You are unique. That is what Mohanji always says. Each one of us is a unique person. So the first affirmation is I accept myself completely. I forgive myself. Because always we carry guilt. And this guilt gives us fear. So when you keep on telling that you forgive yourself, like inner cleansing starts happening inside you. The third one is I am content with all that I have. So it brings in abundance in your life. Lack, scarcity, or either when you stop looking at others, like whatsoever the life has given you, you start appreciating each thing in your life because you have the contentment. The fourth one is I'm thankful for everything. Gratitude. Gratitude is the most powerful thing because when we are in gratitude, we connect to the super consciousness. We connect to our Guru. We connect to the Supreme. And the nature has abundance. And when you say you are thankful for everything, nature starts giving you more and more. Because it is like when that is what I've learned from Mohanji, like you don't have to ask for anything. You can give, you can share. So when you are thankful, you are giving your gratitude. That means you have abundance. And you can now share and give. And the last is I love all. I love all. The thing is, when you say I love all, you love yourself, you expand your heart, and you embrace everyone. You become one with all. And like all the beings, the Mother Nature, you're part of it. So this is, and I was really blessed when on 21st November during the Emocare function, Mohanji signed himself these 5 sentences. It was the biggest blessing for me. I'm writing these affirmations, maybe if I can. I think I've written.
You can repeat them and we can note down. First one is I accept myself, right?
Yeah, I've written here. I accept myself completely. I forgive myself. I'm content with all I have. I'm thankful for everything. I love myself. I love all. But I love everything.
I'm grateful for everything. And I love all.
I have pasted in the group. Yeah.
Can you put it in the chat?
Yes, I wrote it. Cool. I accept myself completely. I forgive myself. I'm content with all I have. I'm grateful for everything. I love all. It is in the chat.
Yeah.
As well. So thank you everybody for your commitment, your self-contemplation, for taking time and effort to strengthen yourself, and in that way also your environment through you. And let's see in the next program. Thank you, Ivana. She says, thank you, it was lovely. And let's see each other soon in the next initiative that we're going to organize. It's the similar topic, but we continue. Let's not stop. Until then, please continue with this practice, no complaining, no blaming, as much as you can. And happy holidays to all.
Happy holidays. Thank you.
Happy holidays.
Mohanji.
This was a really wonderful, splendid, super cool thing, which is very helpful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Jai Mohanji, thank you very much.
Jai Mohanji.